media interviews have already been done. So we won't be doing the normal question and answer from the floor today. We'll leave that for the round table gathering coming up. But as you've probably realised by now, we're announcing today a Commonwealth title fight for Daniel against Celebrate. And it's a bill which includes the WBO European Super Featherweight champion Archie Sharp, Denzel Bentley, big-hitting middleweight's going to be in action, and also the guy who I'm sure that a lot of people will have been watching his early progress, now 3-0 on BT Sport, Dennis McCann, from a travelling family, lives in Kent, and he really does look an exciting young talent.
Well, he is. There's no doubt about it. He's a big puncher, Dennis the Menace. He had his last 17 fights as an amateur. He stopped 17 opponents. So he did well on Saturday. First punch he threw, body shot. He's got great power in his hands. He done what he had to do, but he's got a long way to go yet. I don't want to get carried away with him, but you know he's got something about him that he could become special.
I like to get carried away about him. He looks pretty special to me, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in the ring once again. But before we talk to the two guys up here, Frank, let's just talk about your impressions of Daniel's victory in getting the British title. It was much talked about against Nathan Gorman, and he really did do the business.
Well, for me, that fight was all about composure, as who could maintain their composure and who could establish their jab. And Daniel did that from the very first bell. You know, he's no slouch, is he, Nathan Gorman? He was coming in with an undefeated record, and he's a very, very good boxer and a very, very good mover. But you know, Daniel controlled the fight with a jab. He got clipped himself a couple of times with a couple of good shots, but he took them. But the jab was the key to it, and the composure was the key to it. And I thought it was an excellent win for him. I thought he looked exceptional. And you think, I think he's one of the, not the youngest, but one of the youngest to win a British heavyweight title. And you think that you're looking at that and look at the company he's in and the guys that he's beaten to do it. It tells you he's going to go places.
Is it half a problem now to just control the expectation, because the heavyweight division is very tasty, particularly from a British perspective, and a lot of people will be saying, when's Daniel Dubois going to get a world title shot, never mind a Commonwealth title shot and a British title defence?
Well, you know, his next fight is his 13th fight, and he's won 7 belts. If it, don't attempt fate, but if he beats Ebenezer, he's then won 7 belts in 13 fights. And I can't think of too many heavyweights who've gone into 10 rounders or 12 rounders so young in their career. You know, bearing in mind he only came off of 7 senior bouts as an amateur, so he's still got a long way. He's still got a long way to go. We know what he's good at doing, and there's a couple of things he needs to work on. And I'm sure, having watched his fight back with Nathan, he'll be doing that, and especially with his trainer Martin, who I think is doing a fantastic job with him. He's done a brilliant job with him. They work well together. But he's got a way to go yet. I mean, as I say, this is not a as I always say, it's not a 100-yard dash or 100 metres, as they call it this day. This is a marathon. And at the end of the day, he's got to be equipped to, when he not just go and fight for a world title, be equipped to win it and defend it. And that's what it's all about. And you've got to remember, and look at him now, look. It looks like looks $1 million. He looks like he's going to audition for a Hollywood movie, doesn't he? You know, he's looking the business, the best dressed heavyweight out there. There's no doubt about it. Old Tyson will be a bit jealous of that whistle, I think. But no, for him, it's all about being professional. It's focusing on the job, and the Commonwealth title is a good belt for him to fight for. It's vacant, so we grabbed it, and hopefully he'll come through it. It's all, excuse me, for him. It's about winning every belt.
Daniel, how much are you enjoying walking around and people saying, there goes the British heavyweight champion? Hold your microphone.
It's on.
It's on. It's on.
It's good, you know, people, you know, that fight, my last fight especially, boosted my profile, and a lot more people, not just in England but in world boxing, recognising me. So it's a step in the right direction.
And as Frank said, at the Albert Hall, you're following in some famous footsteps. Muhammad Ali fought there in an exhibition. Lennox Lewis fought there. The list of champions has been there. Lloyd Hunnigan. I mean, you're following some pretty big footsteps.
Yeah, definitely it's all testament to the hard work I've put in, and I want to, climb to the top and become the heavyweight champion of the world. And the only way to do that is come through these guys that put in front of me and win well.
What did you think of your performance when you looked back at it, as you presumably did with Martin, looking at what you did well and what you didn't do quite so well? How did you rate your own performance?
I feel the best is yet to come, and it was a good win. And some things I did, what I know I can do well, I pumped the jab out, and I was just very determined. And I think my overall strength and ability, it was too much for him.
Do you think people have underestimated or overlooked, if you like, your boxing ability, which you're working on with Martin? Do you feel that people have made too much of your power and that you're actually a better boxer than sometimes is recognised?
Well, people can think what they want to, as long as I don't overlook it. And I've done years and years of groundwork in the amateur boxing gyms, and working on the same technique day in, day out, week in, week out. Years and years have gone by, so I know what I can do.
And how much are you enjoying all this? Because, as we said, you've turned up looking $1 million today with a smile on your face and giving out the aura of a champion.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling more and more, getting closer to that goal, and it's good, and it's nice that the hard work I've put in, this is where it's leading to, and I'm on the journey, and I'm loving it.
So, Ebenezer Tete, we've not seen a deal of him. I gather there's the odd fight on YouTube, but statistics, Frank, they don't lie, do they? 16 stoppage wins in 19 victories and undefeated.
Well, he's a banger, and if he's anything like Latte was, you're going to get some entertainment. He come to fight Latte, didn't he? It was a good few rounds that we got with that until Daniel got to him. So, he's fighting next week. He's come through that fight. Then we're on, and he brings an undefeated record, and he's stopped 16 out of 19, I think. So he's a puncher,
I should think you'll be hoping that he's a little bit less committed than Richard Larty, won't you? I mean, when he came at you in that fight, he said you must have been at one moment thinking, what have they got me into here?
Yeah, exactly. I know I was ready. I trained hard, but yeah, if he's another like Larty, I know I've got to sharpen up on a few things, and I could get him out there quicker than I did Larty. So it's all a matter of dedicating myself to training.
Frank, the public are waking up to Daniel, aren't they? You get the impression that, particularly after that last fight, people really say, yeah, this guy's for real, and they want to be there and want to see him.
Well, they do, and he is for real. I mean, I've said from the beginning, I think he's the most exciting young heavyweight I've ever been involved with. And I mean that. He is exciting. He gets in the ring, you feel there's a sense of anticipation in the air. You feel that something's going to happen. There's electric in the air, and once he lets those bombs go, that's what happens. I mean, I really do believe with his attitude, and he's got a fantastic attitude towards his training, his dedication, his professionalism, and that counts. A lot of people have talent, but talent only gets you to a certain level. After that, you need the dedication, you need the commitment to the sport, and he has that. And I do believe if he keeps doing what he's doing and keeps learning, I think he's going to be our next world heavyweight champion. And
grounded as well, which is kind of testimony to the influence of his dad, who I know plays a big part, and also to the guys down at the Peacock Gym.
No, he is grounded, and and that's how you should be. He's a man of the people. That's it. He's very quiet, and I don't want to embarrass him talking about it, but he does all his talking in the ring. But I just want to know the name of the tailor. I want the tailor's address.
Well, we can. It's probably a good point to say before we talk specifically about Nicola's fight coming up, that tickets for the Royal Albert Hall are available on Friday, both through Ticketmaster and the Royal Albert Hall. So I think it holds something like 3,500, 4,000.
Royal Albert Hall holds over 5,000 people.
5,000,
yeah,
is it?
Over 5,000 people.
And it's one of the great atmospheres in boxing.
It's a posh York Hall, as I've always said. It's like the atmosphere is unbelievable in there. We love it. And it's a great place to be, and we'll enjoy it. And it's going to be, that atmosphere is going to be electric on the night, I promise you.
a posh your call. I can feel myself using that line, I think.
Okay, right.
Now, what about Nicola, our golden girl of British boxing?
Well, we've got to get her back on it. You know, she's came in a, you know, with again, history. 2 gold medals. I mean, it's amazing what she's done, and came into the professional ranks. And now, I think we've had a little bit of a quiet period, but now here's our chance now to get out there. Hopefully going to unify the titles. We get this fight on with the IBF champion. And it's, again, as I mentioned earlier, going to be a historic night. The first time there's been a women's world championship fight at the Royal Albert Hall. So she's creating yet again more history. And now she's got to go on something. She's got to go out there, show everybody what she can do as a professional. She's more than capable of doing it. And I want to see her fighting regularly. I want to see her in the ring. I want to see her doing what she's good at doing.
Nicola, how much do you want to do that? I was talking to you a little bit earlier about how much enthusiasm you have at this stage, at 36 you are now. How much enthusiasm for the professional game you have? You hear your promoter there saying, Frank saying, yeah, we want to see you get in there and fight regularly. How much do you want to do that?
Oh, I really want to do this. It's been my ambition since I turned professional. I want to unify the division. I want to get out there, and I want to box. I want to put on a show. Royal Albert Hall. I mean, I couldn't ask for more. Muhammad Ali was my hero growing up. So to be able to think that I'll be boxing in the same arena as he did is really, really something special for me.
Does it give you a buzz to think on this occasion, you know, I mean, you've made history in the past, our double Olympic gold medalist, but once again, fighting at the Albert Hall, it's a little bit of history. Yeah,
it is. It's a little bit of history again, and I plan on winning. I'd love to be able to unify as well. It would be almost like 2 belts for the price of 1. So I'm just keeping on collecting. I just want to get all the belts, all the titles, and just keep on working my way through each champion and pushing forward.
How do you think you compare as a fighter now in 2019 to the Nicola Adams who was there in London taking the gold medal and again in Rio? How do you compare as a fighter?
Oh, I think I've definitely gained more experience. I'm learning all the time as well in the gym as a pro. I've cut out a lot of my amateur traits that I used to have before, and it's just been a learning curve for me. Sparring the experienced lads in the gym, Kid Galahad, and you're just learning and gaining experience from what they do in training, and I'm able to ask them questions about, you know, what it's like. What do you do when you come up against this situation? You know, it's a massive amount of experience in the gym, and I'm just learning all the time. I think as a boxer, you're always learning. There's always something new to learn. You could always be more technically skilled. You could always be faster. You could always be stronger. And I think as long as I keep that in mind, I'm always going to be improving my game and just taking it to the next level.
Not everybody watching this and hearing this will necessarily realise that you do actually get into the gym in your practice sessions and you spar the fellas. Now you're used to that. How difficult did the boys in that Winkerbank gym, how difficult did they find it to actually mentally attune themselves to the fact that they were going in there sparring with you?
Yeah, well, I used to spar Kid Galahad as an amateur as well. So I used to spend a few days of the week at that gym. So it's almost like a home from home for me. But in the Winkerbank gym, you can put anything up against anybody there, and you know it's all laugh and jokes, and you know everybody just gets on with the job.
Now, let's talk about the specifics about you potentially fighting Leonela Udica, the Argentinian, who's held, as I said earlier, the IBF champion now for 5 years. If it is her, what sort of a fight can we anticipate?
I'm ready for a tough fight. She's the champion, so I know she's going to be giving 110% in the ring, as will I. I'll be giving it everything I've got. I've got an A, B, C, D, and E game plan. I'm ready to go. Whatever she throws at me, I've got an answer for, and I'm working hard in the gym to make sure that you know we don't cut any corners. We cover all the bases so that when I step in the gym, step in the ring, I'm good to go and I can take that belt.
Have you watched her? Have you studied her? Because, I mean, potentially this, when she gets in against you, she's the IBF champion. It'll be her 9th title defence. She's got huge experience.
Yeah, I totally understand that. But when she comes in against me, it's going to be a whole new kettle of fish. I've got a lot of experience going into it. I've been boxing since I was 12 years old. I've been to 2 Olympic Games. I've boxed against the best of the best, and I think it's going to be good experience taking into the ring against her. And I know she knows that it is going to be a tough matchup, but I'm hoping to come out on top.
And a chance for you to kind of reconnect with you. I know it's a cliche, the old adoring public bit, but I mean, you were so much a face of the last 2 Olympic Games, and connecting with that public once again, and being seen widely on BT Sport on our broadcast on that night. I mean, how much are you looking forward to all of that?
Oh, I'm really looking forward to it. I keep getting messages, you know, when are you boxing next? When you are, what town, what city? So now it's really nice to be able to say that I will be fighting on the 27th of September at the Royal Albert Hall, and I just hope everybody can be there to see it. There's going to be a new world champion.
Time for the P.T. Barnum time, Frank. It's kind of roll up. It's
it is.
Exciting, very exciting young British heavyweight, and one of the great names of British sport in action as well.
Absolutely, and as I say, it's going to be a great night there. And the undercard, we've got some really good youngsters on this in very good competitive fights. So you've got to be there, see some great fights, and if you can't be there, watch it on BT Sport. And
the tickets, as I say, available on Friday, Ticketmaster, and actually at royalalberthall.com. Yep. So I don't think they will be slow to go. So no, I think people had better get in there.
Get in there quick, get your ticket, as I say. Otherwise, you watch it on TV.
Right. Well, I think that probably just about does it up here. The guys are going to be doing a sit round the table for the written media, and anybody else who needs to do head-to-head interviews. Everybody will be around for a little while yet. So. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.